check in with you guys before I leave, but the day has already half passed. In the morning we got up pretty early, we headed to the gym, I trained a client, we did our boot camp class, and now we are just running home. It's 2 p.m. grabbing our stuff and we're going to our first family Christmas. So I'm going to be there overnight. I won't see you guys till tomorrow. I also will be addressing some of the Q&A questions that you guys asked on my Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, Facebook too. I don't know wherever in the media of social land. So that is going to happen on Sunday. So I will see you guys in the next clip. Hi guys. So here is the Q&A that I promised you all. I'm going to start with reading a few from Instagram and then I will go over to the other ones. To start things off, I'm going to answer to the best of my ability very briefly because I'm very good at going on tangents and rambles, so I'll try to keep this brief. So the first question is from Winfrey Fitness, and he asks, what has been your biggest struggle that you've overcome through your fitness journey? First thing that comes to mind would be giving up the idea that perfection is an option. When I first got into the world of fitness and nutrition, I started eating clean, I was working out, lifting weights, and I got results pretty much immediately, and that was very motivating, and I did very little just to get those results. But as time progressed, and I progressed, I got more and more into the realm of fitness and nutrition, and I started really paying attention to the minute details like the timing of food, the macronutrients, what to eat, how to work out and eat, and just like all those things kind of tying into each other for optimal results. Because when you get in shape, you're not just suddenly like happy and like, yeah, I'm in shape. Like you always want to do better, be better, progress more. You're always trying to have better results, I guess. And so I was trying for a really, really elite physique, and just trying to be perfect with all of that made me realize that it's totally not something you can do if you're wanting to be happy with life at the same time. So I wasn't willing to sacrifice my sanity for that, so I started backing off a little bit, and it's been pretty hard because when you know that by doing that you can get insane results, it's hard to let go, but at the same time it's kind of relaxing knowing that I can be happy and content and still have a six-pack. So yeah, that was pretty hard for me at first, but I'm happy that I'm no longer tied to the chains of macro counting and calorie counting and weighing everything. I like the freedom that I have now, and I'm really happy that my eyes have been exposed to the better side of things for that. I hope that answered it pretty well. Second question is from Willamie, or W. Lammy. She asks, how did you get into fitness? I guess I didn't, it's kind of a long story, but basically one day I just realized, oh, I should probably start working out and get in shape and lose these love handles. I think it was the media that kind of told me I needed to get in shape, like the advertisements that say, lose these love handles or get rid of cellulite. And I'd never really had issues with being overweight, but I guess I just wanted to have a six-pack, I guess. And then so I started doing some cardio. I looked up ways to burn fat, and I found interval training. So I did that around my neighborhood, and then I joined a gym, and then I did some like 20 minutes quick fix circuits on their machines there. I played sports through this time as well, so I had a lot of activity. And then I started doing Jillian Michaels and canceled my gym membership because I was convinced, absolutely convinced, that I would get ripped in 30 days or six-pack in 6 weeks or whatever the titles were. Like, I was convinced of this. It was hilarious. So I would get up every day, every morning, I would kill myself doing this, and I guess my breaking point for that was in my kitchen. I remember this clearly, and it was in the middle of Killer Buns and Thighs. If you've done it, you know what I mean. But I felt defeated, and I just started crying, because when I do something, I go all in. I don't just half-ass it and say, oh, okay, I'll start here. Like, I push myself to the extreme. So I think that is what led me to weightlifting. Long story shorter, kind of. I just got really fed up with doing the stuff at home. I felt like I wasn't getting any results. And that is when I realized that I had to focus on my nutrition part. It wasn't just about eating 1,200 calories and you're good to go. It was about eating the right foods and working out, building muscle, more metabolic tissue to help get me into the best shape ever. So I guess Derek had always been telling me, oh, like you should come lift weights with me. And I'm like, no, I'm okay. He had a big I told you so moment and just started lifting and eating clean. So yeah, that's how I got into fitness. And what did you have before you got all muscular? Well, I'd always kind of had big biceps. I guess the leaner I got, the more you could notice them. But people always kind of said, oh, you have strong arms and whatever. So I never was overweight or underweight. Do you get dumb comments from people that think muscles are not feminine? Yes, I have. But to be honest, I don't remember. I have this weird coping mechanism where if somebody says something like that, it will frustrate me. And my first reaction is to reply and be like, bah! But I'm the bigger person, literally. And yeah, I just ignore it, I guess, or delete it. And it also deletes it from my mind because I honestly cannot remember for the life of me what they said. But I do know I have gotten a few of those dumb comments. And the last one that she asked is, do donuts fit in a lifestyle? Please, yes. Yes, they do. What I'm doing right now for my current lifestyle with nutrition, I am doing what Derek and I call biofeedback flexible dieting, which is basically flexible dieting without tracking calories. Here's a link to our videos of us actually explaining and doing it ourselves as we go along the journey of trying it out. But it's pretty much my lifestyle. I don't count calories or macros anymore, which is awesome. The way I set up my day usually allows for more flexibility in the evening, so I can have a donut if I want to. I'm not having donuts or ice cream every night. If there is a birthday and there's cake and ice cream, I'll have it because I can. And she also asks, how do I motivate my boyfriend to eat healthier without making him feel like I think he's gross and unattractive? From personal experience with helping others, you kind of just have to wait till they're ready to change. You can't really force it upon them. I would just be very encouraging and just suggest adding things into his lifestyle as opposed to telling him to change something. And just straight out tell him that he's not gross and unattractive. Just say that you care about his health and that you've learned so much about how important health is and the amazing benefits that come along with just eating healthier, and that he can still have like unhealthy foods just in moderation. So Matt asks, is it okay to have a Snickers bar before a workout or any sports? Well, preferentially I would save it for post-workout just so that you can fill up your muscles with the carbs and glycogen that you're getting from the Snickers bar. But if you are looking more for just killing it in the gym, then have a Snickers bar. You might have to bring some kind of like intra workout or intra food workout so that you don't crash too hard, because that's the only issue. If you have something really high sugar before a workout, you're gonna get great energy, but then you're just gonna drop and you're just gonna feel like blah. So like I said, preferentially I save those post-workout, but if you want to try it out, give it a go, I think ideally those would be good in the post-workout window. And a different Matt asks, how do I get biceps like that? And so does his girlfriend Emma. She asked that as well. Well, I guess my secret is that I don't really have a secret, to be honest. I just do deadlifts and bent over rows and pull-ups and underhand pull-ups, and once in a blue moon I will do bicep curls. But other than that, I guess I just favor supersets with underhand and overhand variations for exercises. I love burning out the biceps in a compound movement, not so much isolated. But yeah, that's what I do, and yeah, there's that. Where did my picture go? Okay, and Jolynn asked, best at-home full body workout using limited space and 5 to 25 pound dumbbells. Well, I would say lunges, squats, jump squats, bridges, push-up, renegade rows, squat to press, bent over rows. The list could go on actually, you get pretty creative, but I think doing more leg focus with that is probably better. You can use your couch or a chair. You can do like single leg variations where you rest your back leg on the couch as you do a lunge forward. But yeah, here is a random snap. Shaylo35 asks, what are ways to lose belly fat? So the number one thing to keep in mind is that your nutrition needs to be on point. And I'm not saying perfect because that's not sustainable. But what I'm saying is you have to make sure that you're in a caloric deficit. So this means that you're going to be eating less than what you're burning in a day, and that way you're forcing your body to burn up body fat stores instead of the foods you're eating. Two ways of doing that. One way most people don't really like too much is by tracking your calories and macros and eating a set amount of calories for a day according to the numbers that they've calculated to create the deficit. Or you can do it more intuitively and just scale it by your hunger. So if you are hungry several times throughout the day, and not like starving and purposely trying to starve yourself of food, I'm not asking you to do that, but if you just let yourself get hungry a few times throughout the day and be mindful when you're eating slow, eating whole nutritious foods, and avoiding a lot of processed foods, I think that you would be able to achieve a deficit pretty easily without tracking. Oh, and make sure that you are getting enough activity in a day. I like to recommend at least an hour of walking in a day. And I'm not saying like go for an hour walk, that's that. Just get up and move. If you have an activity tracker, that's great. Maybe like calculate out 10,000 steps for a day. Make sure you're doing at least that. So just any kind of movement, making sure that your body is using up energy that you're taking in. So that is my number one recommendation for losing belly fat. You can do cardio if you want, but you know, that's very supplementary to it. I don't really favor cardio. I definitely encourage lifting weights. So if you have a pair of dumbbells with you, if you have a gym membership, definitely lift weights. Lifting weights along with eating well is like the super combo for getting really great results, and obviously lowering that belly fat, because as you get leaner, as you lose body fat, you can't really spot reduce, but you will definitely see a change in your belly for sure. And she also asked, and which would you prefer, yogurt or ice cream? I would totally prefer ice cream. Hands down, legs up, ice cream. Right now is my favorite season for ice cream because candy cane ice cream is out, and let me tell you, I totally finished off a big box of that in under a week, probably like 3 days, I don't even know, but it was good and I enjoyed it and it fit my lifestyle. Do you have any abs videos in YouTube? So I'm going to answer this two ways. One, I don't really work out abs, and I don't really have any workout videos on YouTube that have ab workouts in them, so no. And two, if you're asking if I have abs on YouTube, as in like do I show them? No, I don't. But if you want to see my abs, I guess, check out my Instagram because I do a lot of selfies there with ab shots. So there you go. And let me see. Okay, so my camera just shut off on me because it was like, you're talking too much, Rachel, please stop. And then I didn't hear it, so it just was like, alright, I'm gonna stop. That was that. Thank you, Sony A5000. Perfect. But I think that was all of the questions that I found, at least. I'm not sure if there's any more. Quick checking. If you have any more questions, don't wait for the Q&A, the next one. Feel free to shoot me an email here, mrs.livefit@gmail.com. I'd be happy to answer your questions, and I know a lot of you have had questions about the biofeedback flexible dieting. If you're someone who has a question about that, check out the link here on our videos of Derek and I actually talking about it as we go through the orientation phase of it, and send me an email if you have any further questions. Thank you guys for watching my Vlogmas day 4 and 5, ending it off with a big Q&A with you guys. Thank you so much for your questions, and I'm sorry if they were very rambly. Like I said, I'm not very good at brief answers. If you liked what you saw, remember to give this video a thumbs up. Definitely shoot me some comments below of more topics you'd like me to talk about. I'm always open to discussing different questions or opinions, and yeah, subscribe because this is Vlogmas and I'm vlogging every day in December, so you don't want to miss the next one. So without further ado, I'm going to conclude this video and say goodnight to you all. Happy December 5th, I think. No, I lied. Happy December 6th. I will see you all lovely people in the morning. Peace.